I'd be very grateful at the outset, Chairman, if the Taoiseach would respond to me in writing, because I have too many things to highlight. There are many reports and surveys done, Taoiseach, indicating that Kerry will be worse affected by the pandemic or the virus than any other county in the country. Indeed, I don't need to see any of those reports because I know of it firsthand. When you see towns like Killarney and Dingle and Carsiveen and Castle Island, there's nothing at all happening. And in relation to seasonal workers, I think it is very unfair that they weren't recognised. If the lockdown hadn't happened for another two weeks, all of them would have been back and they would be getting the COVID payment. Bus drivers, hotel workers, indeed in the last 2 days I've had over 700 emails from bus drivers and people concerned about the transport industry in Kerry. And it's shambolic the way they have been treated, and when you see yards of buses and to think that none of them moving and no payment for any driver, their stamps are gone, and this is where they are now, totally left behind. I'm asking you to address that matter, Taoiseach. And in relation to the 2 metres and the 1 metre, in order to get going or to get some kind of or to give some kind of assistance to the tourism industry, I'm asking you to reduce it to 1 metre. Because other countries like France, Austria, Norway, Sweden and Finland, all of them applied the 1 metre. And you see, the WHO, the World Health Organization, we gave over 9 million to lately for their advice and their assistance, they're recommending 1 metre or more. This is what they're saying, but 1 metre is sufficient in rural places, and if you don't apply that, and the longer that you leave the hotel industry and the tourism industry without releasing them and allowing them to get going and have avail of the national tourist people that come down from Dublin and from different parts of the country, from all around the country, to come to places like Killarney and Kerry and other places in Kerry, the less hope of the ever again opening. That's what probably will happen. In relation to young drivers waiting for driving test, Taoiseach, I'm calling, first of all, if it is possible to give them a temporary amnesty. There's thousands of them. And if you can't do that, surely that the driving instructors could be asked of the School of Motoring to put a division between themselves and the learner driver, to allow them to do the test or to do their lessons, and then after having their lessons, and most of them have it done, to allow them to do the test in the driving instructor's car. I'm glad that other deputies raised the issue about funerals and churches, and indeed I sympathise with all the people and the families who have lost loved ones during this pandemic and who didn't have a proper funeral, and it makes no sense in the world to think that only 10 people can go into the massive cathedral in Killarney, and there should be some other way of deciding, or it should be re-looked at, and I support that. In relation to nursing homes, I'm calling on you, Taoiseach, to explain to the people of Ireland why it had to happen that people who toiled and worked so hard all their lives had to die alone with no member of their family with them. And as someone that lost someone very dear to me in the last few years, I know what it means to the person that's dying, and they surely couldn't understand why there was no one with them. I'm calling on you, Taoiseach, to look yourself at what has happened in Carsaveen in relation to the direct provision centre there, and all the inconsistencies and the things that should have happened, and the opening of a direct provision centre there is clear now should never have happened. The HSE didn't agree with it. The people of Carsaveen didn't agree with it. And the people in the direct provision centre, the residents themselves, don't agree with it. So I'm asking you, Taoiseach, to look at that, please, and to close it down for once and for all, and give the people of Carsaveen and the residents fair play.
Thank you, Deputy.